Hello, good morning to you. Welcome to this wet and windy Sunday morning. And a story that was out last week, end of last week, is this Lord's Committee are calling for stricter assessments with regards to disability benefits. And obviously they are dealing with the second stage of making laws that obviously Labour pushed through, and we're talking about that as well in a moment with regard to the banking thing that they're on about, and they're trying to bring in. In fact, everything that they do revolves around pursuing money from disabled people, and we have that problem of the magic number of 22 billion that they sort of made up and has been proven to be made up, by the way.
The £22 billion deception. Keir Starmer's silence as Britain's greatest economic lie unfolds. For weeks, the British public has been fed a terrifying number. £22 billion. A so-called financial black hole that sent shockwaves through Parliament and forced through one of the biggest tax hikes in UK history. But now, the truth is out. That number was never real. Experts have revealed the scandal, revealing that the actual shortfall was less than half of what was claimed. Even worse, the agency behind the report, the Office for Budget Responsibility, OBR, admits it can't even verify whether the deficit exists. So why did the government push this lie? Was this a desperate distraction from failing policies? A calculated move to force higher taxes on struggling families? And why has Keir Starmer failed to take control of the crisis? The public wants justice. Calls for resignations are growing, outrage is boiling over, and trust in the government is crumbling.
And also, the other thing I want to mention about that is, in actual fact, if you have a look at this short video, you'll hear that they actually owe, or could owe, £23 billion in benefits, because that is the sum of money that people could claim if they knew about it. So £23 billion unclaimed from DWP. This is for benefits that people could claim but don't, mainly because they don't know about it, but also it's also about increases that people are not getting and additional money that they're not getting. Average of 2,700 per person, which is a hell of a lot. But this is a report that was done. I know it's a little bit old, it's April last year, but it's still relevant because they're moaning about the £22 billion black hole. But if they had to pay out this £23 billion as well, then it would be 45 billion that they would be moaning about. And as we know, the 22 billion is probably not even real. So this is more likely to be real. There are obviously figures there mentioned in the article that you can see. There's an average of 8.4 million people who could be missing out. And also the idea that there is universal credit, 8.3 billion went unclaimed. And it means that more than 1.4 million are missing out on UC, an average of £5,772 in that year. It also includes billions missing in pension credit, carers allowance and child benefit. So anyway, the story about the Lord's Committee, obviously disabled activists have questioned the draconian conclusions of the Lord's Committee that has told the government to impose stricter conditions on more assessments and more rigorous work capability assessments on claimants of out-of-work disability benefits. Obviously, they're talking about there is UC. The calls by the Economic Affairs Committee echo many of those made by politicians, and we all know about them over the last 30 years. Going all the way back, this was a phrase that the Social Security Secretary from 1999, Alistair Darling, and they should examine what an individual can do rather than what they cannot do, because there are also concerns that the committee dismissed reports that increasing claimant numbers, and we all know why, if we don't then we need to wake up quickly and find out why, are at least partly due to the rising levels of ill health and NHS waiting lists. Well, they're blaming that, aren't they? Because, yeah, they can do. The committee calls for sick and disabled people who are signed off work for more than 1 month by their GP to undergo additional or ongoing assessments. And it's calling for those on incapacity benefits. Again, they're targeting that, which probably means the limited capability universal credit groups, i.e. WCARW. There's so many acronyms, isn't there? To have a work coach for the first 2 years of their period on out of work benefits. So they're saying they need to engage with a work coach even though they're ill and they're signed off sick. It said reform was needed both to curb the increasing fiscal burden. There we go, that's that mentioned again, that we lost some money. But there was no call for the DWP to research why claimant numbers have been rising in recent years. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink, say no more, as they say. Here's the page, Disability News Service. It is quite serious because the Cross-Party Economic Affairs Committee based its report on just 6 oral evidence sessions held last October, November and December, and it took no written evidence. It also took no evidence from any disabled people's organisations or for anybody who claims out-of-work disability benefits. Instead, they heard from think tanks, ministers, civil servants, academics and the Office of Budget Responsibility. In a letter to WP Secretary Liz Kendall Mints, as they say, Kendall Mints, the committee chair, the Tory peer, Lord George Bridges, said the health-related benefit system was financially unsustainable. Quite right. It is when you give away money like that to various other places and things like India, for example. His letter was widely reported in the mainstream media. Linda Burnett, co-founder of Disability Peoples Against Cuts, said there was no economic sense in this draconian proposals. But yet again, disabled people will bear the brunt of cuts if they are adopted. Remember, this is the second part of making it go through to law. So the Lords have the last say in law. Changes to assessments make them more stringent would also necessitate additional funding for the corporations carrying out these things like Atos, Maximus and all of those. They're going to get more money, aren't they? Added to that, pushing even more disabled people into further poverty would increase demands on the NHS. Obviously they're moaning about that already. The spokesperson did not explain why there was no call for DWP to research the reason for increasing number of claimants, but he did say that because there was insufficient evidence that the sharp rise in number of claimants reflects a deterioration in people's health. Oh my God, bingo, well said, well done. You're so clever. I mean, I wonder if these people are completely stupid and thick, because, I mean, if you're listening to my channel, you'll know the reasons behind it. And if you don't know the reason by now, then where have you been in the last 4 years? Yeah, I'm not going to say any more. Anyway, that's the story. It is quite serious, and I'll keep you updated on that, because there is going to be further stories coming out about this. And of course, Labour are not going to let it lie, because they're not going to do that, are they? Let's face it. Right, that's it. Have a good day. And don't forget, we're here every day, nearly, and Sunday is our live stream. Hello, good day to you. It's me, Andy, and this is Talking Really Sunday Live. And a big invitation to you, if you are interested, at 4 p.m. on Sundays, the live stream, Sunday live stream, Sunday Live, Talking Really, on these channels, on these platforms. We have RTube, Odyssey, BitTube, Rumble and YouTube, if you're on any of those, plus of course Facebook, Twitch and Twitter. So if you're on any of those, please do come and join me, and I'll see you Sunday at 4 p.m. Have a good day. Bye for now.